Good morning, my dear students. I hope you're already take your breakfast because it's early in the morning. We're going to start our class at exactly 7:30 a.m. Okay, it's already 7:30 a.m. So, are you ready? Okay, let's start. So, let's have the now. Would you rather start with 25 centavo doubled per day until 30th day, or would you rather start with 1 million in the 30th day? So please choose. Yeah, you can open your mic, or you can send your answer there in our chat box. Okay, thank you for the response. Some others says that they are going to choose, or they are going to start with the money 1 million in the 30th day. So please stick with your choices. Okay, stick with your choices. For those students that choose the 1 million, there I will going to show you the a magic, because the 25 centavos that doubled per day until the 30th day would become much more larger. Okay, so let me discuss that in the next slide. Okay, so we have here the day one. So when you see the double, so let's just multiply by 2. Okay, 0.25 times 2 is equal to 0.5 times 2 again until the day 10. We have 128 pesos. Okay, it's just day 10, 128 rather, 128 pesos in day 10. So it is less than 1 million. So for the students that choose 1 million, they are happy because it is less than in 1 million. 128 pesos pa lamang dito sa day 10. Now, if you're going to continue, day 11 to day 20, oh, here's the magic there. Because in day 20, we have the money of 131 pesos, 131,072 pesos in just a 20th day. Okay, so our 25 centavos there in day 1 that doubled per day in the 20th day would become 131,072 pesos. And how about in 30th day? So there is the magic. So in the 30th day, we double the money per day, we become a billionaire. We have 13 billion 421 million. No, we have no wait, let me read it again. Okay, we have 13 billion 4 million 217,728 pesos in the 30th day, starting from 25 centavos that doubled per day. So for those students that choose 1 million in the 30th day, they are going to choose they can change their mind to choose the 25 centavos that doubled in the 30th day, because in the 30th day they would become a billionaire. Okay, we have 13 billion 4 million 217,722 pesos in the 30th day, starting with 25 centavos. So there's a magic there. Okay, now the question is, sir, what is the connection of this table in our lesson? Yes, there is a larger connection because we are talking about the compound interest. We are talking about how it works. Okay, again, we are going to talk about how compound interest works. There, so I hope you are ready because our lesson for today is the compound interest. Now, let's have the objectives. In this lesson, you will learn the following skills or competencies. Compute for the compound interest in terms of annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, we have here, next slide, check activity muna tayo. And how many portions are there in the figure? So we have the choices here. I will give you the choices. Choices are monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. Now, I'm going to show you a figure. Then I want you to determine the answer with the use of this monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. So the first figure is there. So how many portions are there in the figure? So as you observe, it is a plain figure, circle, and the portion is only 1. So please send your answer there in our chat box. Okay, I can see your answer. Okay, I appreciate the answer of the student 1, student 2, and student 3. And they are correct. Okay, the answer is annually. So annually is equal to 1. Take note of that because it is very important in our solving and later. So if you are if it is annually, it is equal to 1. Okay, if it is annually, it is equal to 1. So let's proceed to the next figure. So how many portions are there in the figure? As you observe, we divide the circle into 2. So we have 2 portions there in the figure. So please send me your answer in the chat box using these choices. Monthly, quarterly, and semi-annually. Okay, I recognize the answer of student number 1, number 2, and number 3. Yes, you are correct. The answer is semi-annually. Okay, so again, take note. If it is semi-annually, it is equal to 2. Okay, if it is semi-annually, it is equal to 2. Okay, let's proceed to the third figure. Now, how many portions are there in the figure? So it is divided by 4. The figure is divided by 4. So our portions, how many portions are there is 4. Now, please send me your answer in the chat box using these choices. Okay, and again, I recognize the answer of student 1, student 2, and student 3. Yes, your answer are correct. It is quarterly. Now, when we talk about quarterly, if it is quarterly, it is always equal to 4. Okay? It is always equal to 4 if it is quarterly. Now, let's have the final figure. So, it is obvious that it is monthly. And the portion there has 12. Okay, the portion is 12. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if it is monthly, then it is equal to 12. Okay, take note of that. Again, if annually, it is equal to 1. If semi-annually, it is equal to 2. If quarterly, it is equal to 4. Then if monthly, it is equal to 12. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. So the difference. So we're going to talk about the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Now, the simple interest is the interest earned on the principal. So simple interest comes from the principal. It's very easy. Simple interest comes from the principal. And when you talk about the compound interest, it is the interest you earn on the interest. So interest comes from the interest. When we say compound interest, interest comes from the interest. Okay, that is the compound interest. And in the simple interest, the interest comes from the principal. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. Now, what will happen to my 3,000 if we are going to use the simple interest and compound interest? So let's discuss that on this table. So as you observe, we have the table there. In column 1, we have simple interest and compound interest. In column 2, we have the interest rate, which is 5%. And if you are going to use this, it must be in decimal form. So just divide it into 100 and it would become 0.05. So in the third column, we have first year, the time, second year, third year, and the fourth year. So let's focus there in the simple interest. So we have the interest rate, which is 5%. Now, what is the 5% in 3,000? So it is equal to 150. As you observe, the year there is changed, but the interest does not change. It is equal, even if the year is changed. Okay, in the simple interest. Now here in compound interest, we have the interest rate of 5%. We have the first year, we have 3,000. The interest of 3,000 in 5% is 150. Now you're going to add this 3,000 plus 150. And in the 2-year, we have 3,150. Now we're going to find the interest of this 3,150 using the 5%. And it is 157.50 centavo. Then you are going to add this. In the 3rd year, we have 3,307.50 centavo, and we're going to find the interest there using this. We're going to find the interest using the interest rate of 5%, and we have 165.755, which is just rounded up. We have 165.76. Okay. So add it. Let's add this, and we have 3,462.625. Using this, we are going to find the interest of this on the interest rate of 5%, and we have 173.6437. And add this, and so on and so forth. So as you observe, the interest is bigger and bigger in the compound interest. So, okay, in simple interest, the interest is always the same. But here, in the compound interest, it is bigger and bigger. Okay, so any question about this? Okay, I think there's none. So let's proceed to the next slide. Now, how do we calculate compound interest or accumulated value? So we have, of course, we have the formula. So please memorize or familiarize this formula, or take note of this formula. A is equal to P times parentheses of 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T. Okay, where A here is amount or the accumulated value. This is the accumulated value. And P is our principal. And R is, of course, R is in the interest rate, and T is the time measured in hours, days, weeks, months, and years. And our N here is equal to the number of times interest is compounded per unit or time. Okay, number of times interest. So this formula is very different in the simple interest. As you can see, it's much more complicated, but let's try to solve this. Let's try to solve a problem using this formula. Now, let's have the values of n to be remembered. So, as you observe, on our self-check activity, the compounded yearly or annually is equal to 1, semi-annually is equal to 2, quarterly is equal to 4, monthly is equal to 12, weekly is equal to 52, and daily is equal to 365. Again, please take note of these values of n, that compounded annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Again, if annually, it is equal to 1. If semi-annually, it is equal to 2. If quarterly, it is equal to 4. If monthly, it is equal to 12. If weekly, it is equal to 52. and if daily, it equal to 365. So please take note of the value of n here because we are going to use this in our formula. It is it's already given. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. So prepare yourself, and I expected that you have your calculator, pen and paper there because we're going to start computing now. So let's have the example number 1. So let me read it. If you deposit 4,000 pesos into an account paying 6% annual interest compounded quarterly, how much money will be in the account after 5 years? Now, as I have said, if you are going to solve a problem, understand the problem first. Then, identify what is being asked on the problem. Then, find the given information in the problem. Then, use the given formula. Okay, so what is being asked on the problem is how much money will be in the account after 5 years. And the given formula there is the 4,000 pesos, the 6%, and the interest compounded quarterly. So when we say quarterly, it is equal to 4. Our n is equal to 4. Okay, so let's have the solution. Solution number 1. So the given, here's the given. Principal is equal to 4,000. Interest rate is equal to 0.06 because it is 6%. And n is equal to 4 because it is quarterly. Again, n is equal to 4 because it is compounded quarterly. So let's our time is in 5 years. So let's proceed. We have the formula a is equal to p, the parentheses times parentheses of 1 plus r over n to the power of n times t. So let's just substitute the given information there in the problem to our formula. So 4,000 times the parentheses of 1 plus 0.06 over 4 to the power of 4 times 5. So in 4 times 5, you have equal to 20. So 4,000 times the parentheses of 1.015 to the power of 20. And you're going to solve this. 1.050 to the 20 is equal to 1.346855007. Then if you're going to multiply this to 4,000, we have 5,387.42 centavo. So this is our accumulated value. Therefore, after 5 years, there will be 5,387.42 centavos in the account. Okay, that is our final answer. So let's proceed to the example number 2. So let me read it again. If you deposited 6,500 pesos into an account paying 8% annual interest compounded monthly, how much money will be in the account after 7 years? Now again, so you have what is being asked in the problem is how much money will be in the account after 7 years. There is the given information is the deposited money, the principal, which is 6,500, the interest rate, which is 8%, and the time, which is the 7 years. Now let's use this information to solve the problem. Now the solution. Okay, so let me have my slide. The given is, now we have the principal 6,500, the interest rate 0.08 because it is 8%. Now just divide it into the 8%, just divide to 100 so that you have this decimal form of 0.08. We have the n is equal to 12 because it is monthly. Again, n is equal to 12 because it is compounded monthly. Now we have the time, which is the 7 years. So in this given information, just substitute this in our formula. So we have a is equal to 6,500 times the parentheses of 1 plus 0.08 divide over 12 to the power of 12 times 7. So we have here, if you're going to solve this, we have 1.0066666 to the power of 84 because 12 times 7 is equal to 84. So we have 6,500 times 1.7474225051. So if you have a question why we have this answer, we just use your calculator and solve this 1.006666 to the power of 84, and we have this. Now multiply to 6,500, we have 11,358.24 centavos. So after 7 years, there will be 11,358.24 in the account. So let's proceed to the next slide. So Miss Annabelle wants to deposit 10,000 into her bank account, paying 25% annual interest compounded semi-annually. How much money she earned on her account after 9 years? So let's have the solution first. Okay, so the given information is the principal is 10,000, the interest rate is 0.25, the n is equal to 2 because it is semi-annually. Okay, n is equal to 2 because it is semi-annually. Now we have the time is equal to 9. Okay, because it is 9 years. Now we have the formula. Just substitute the given information in our formula. 10,000 times the parenthesis of 1 plus 0.25 over 2 to the power of 2 times 9. 2 times 9 is equal to 18. And if you're going to solve this, the number within the parentheses, we have 1.125. Okay, so 10,000 times the parentheses of 8.3319259999 is equal to 83,319.26 centavo. So this is our final answer. Therefore, Miss Annabelle have earned 83,319.26 centavo pesos on her bank account after 9 years. So let's proceed to the next slide. Again, so let me read the example number 4. A 3-year loan of 10,000 at interest rate of 5% that compound annually was applied for 4. Okay, again, let me read it again. A 3-year loan of 10,000 at interest rate of 5% that compounds annually was applied for. What would be the amount of interest? Okay, this is what is being asked on the answer. And on the problem rather, what would be the amount of interest? And the given information there is the principal is the 10,000. The interest rate or the R is equal to 15%. And the N here is equal to 1 because it is annually. Okay, N here is equal to 1 because it is annually. And our time is 3 because it's 3-year loan. Okay, so let's have the solution. Okay, the given information there. Okay, principal is equal to 10,000, R is equal to 0.5, N is equal to 1 because it is compounded annually, and time is equal to 3 because it is 3-year loan. So let's use the given formula. The A is equal to P times the parentheses of 1 plus R is equal to N to the power of N times T. Substitute this given formula. Here we have 10,000 times the parentheses of 1 plus 0.01 over 1 to the power of 1 times 3. So 1 times 3 is equal to 3. If you're going to solve this, you solve this in the parentheses, the 1 plus 0.05 over 1 is equal to 1.05. Now we have 10,000, 1.157625. Okay, we have 10,000 times 1.157625 is equal to 11,576.25 centavos peso. Therefore, after 3 years, there will be 11,576.25 centavo in the account. So this is our final answer here. Now let's proceed. Now, how do we calculate compound interest? So there we calculate the accumulated value, and on this we're going to compute the exact compound interest. Okay, so we have another formula. So this formula is just like the simple interest. So please also familiarize or take note of this because it is very important. Now, I here is equal to compound interest. Our P is the principal, and our A there is the amount or accumulated value. So the formula of accumulated value is A is equal to P times the parenthesis of 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T. Okay, so we have, let's try solve an example. So let's have this given. The principal is 10,000. The accumulated value is 11,576.50 centavos. Now we have the solution. So using the formula of compound interest, I is equal to A minus P. This solution has an error. So this 11,000 must be 11,576.5 centavos must be there in the first. So take note, it has an error. It must be 11,576.5 minus 10,000, so that you have the result of 1,576.5. Okay, take note of this. This is this slide has an error. It must be 11,576.5 minus 10,000. So you have the compound interest of 1,576.5. Therefore, after 3 years, the interest will be 1,576.5 in the account. Okay, so it has an error, small error lang naman. Let's proceed to the next slide. So let's have an example number 5. So a 5-year loan of 25,000 at interest rate of 3% that compounds weekly was granted. What would be the amount of interest? Okay, our given information there is the time is equal to 5 years. Our principal, which is the 25,000. Our interest rate, which is 3%. And our compounded weekly is equal to 52, because it is weekly, compounded weekly. It is equal to 52. So our N here is equal to 52. So let's proceed. So let's have the solution. Now the given solution. So principal 25,000, interest rate which is 0.03. N is equal to 52 because it is compounded weekly. Okay, N is equal to 52 because it is compounded weekly. And we have T time is equal to 5 because it is a 5-year loan. So let's have this exact solution there. So using the formula, the accumulated value, A is equal to P times the parenthesis of 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T. So substitute the given information there in our formula. So we have the answer of, using your calculator, we have the answer of 29,044.60 centavos. So this is our accumulated value. Then we are going to find also the compound interest of this. So let's proceed. Okay. So here is the given. We have the 25 pesos at 25,000, and A is equal to 24,444 pesos 0.60 centavos. So this is has an error. So this must be 29. Okay, this must be 29. The accumulated value this is 29,044 pesos 0.60 centavos. So using the compound interest, I is equal to A minus P. So we have 29,044 pesos 0.60 minus 25,000 is equal to 4,044.60 centavos. So therefore, our compound interest there is and after 5 years, the loan will have an interest of 4,044 pesos point 60 centavos. Okay, so please bear it in mind that this is our formula when we're going to find the compound interest. I is equal to A minus P. So let's proceed to the next slide. Is there any questions in our examples? Okay, if there's none, so let's proceed to the next slide. So let's have a practice solving. Now I am going to give you a problem. So please have your calculator, pen, and paper there. Okay, let's have the problem number 1. What if compounded daily? So compounded daily, it must be equal to 365 days. So your end there is equal to 365 days. So this is the first problem. Let me read it. Okay, a deposit money or a deposit of 4,095 pesos earns 3% interest compounded daily. How much money is in the bank after 3 years? Again, a deposit of 4,095 pesos earns 3% interest compounded daily. How much money is in the bank after 3 years? So this is the given for so I want you to send your answer, your final answer in our chat box. Okay, I've seen your answer. Let me show the exact answer. So P is equal to, this is our principal, 4,095 pesos. R is equal to 3% or 0.3. N is equal to 365 days because it is compounded daily. And T is equal to 3 years. Now by using our formula and with the help of our calculator, we have the answer of 4,480.63 centavo. Okay, we have the final answer. And as I have seen in the chat box, you are all correct. Okay, thank you so much for the response. So let's proceed to the next problem. Okay, the second problem is what if compounded weekly? Now, if compounded weekly, it is our n there is 52. N is equal to 52. So let's have the problem. Let me read this to you. Consider 2,000 is invested in compound interest where the rate of interest is 2% per year. If interest is compounded weekly, what will be the accumulated value and the compound interest after 2 years? So we're going to find the accumulated value and the compound interest. So let's use the formula of accumulated value and the compound interest. Again, the formula of accumulated value is A is equal to P times the parenthesis of 1 plus R over N to the power or to the exponent of N times T. And the formula of compound interest is just I is equal to A minus P. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, please send your answer in our chat box, your final answer lang. So, okay, I have seen your answers. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Now, let's find out if our answer is the same. So, this is the given. Principal is equal to 2,000. R is equal, or the rate is equal to 2% or 0.02. N is equal to 52 because it is compounded weekly. And time is in 2 years. So by using the formula of accumulated value and by the help of our calculator, we have here the accumulated value of 2,081 pesos 0.61 centavos. So as I have seen in our chat box, you are all correct now. So if you're going to find the this is compound interest. So subtract the accumulated value to the principal, which is 2,000. Then you have 81.61 centavos. Okay, you have 81 pesos, 0.61 centavos. So that is your compound interest. And as I have seen in our chat box, our answer is the same. Okay, thank you so much for your response. So let's proceed to the next slide. So in the next slide, what if compounded semi-annually? Now in semi-annually, our n is equal to 2 because it is semi-annually. Now let's have the problem. Let me read it to you. Carla deposited 500 in her saving accounts. Now the account pays interest of 7% compounded semi-annually. So let me show you then how much will Carla have in 5 years? So there, please send me your final answer in our chat box. Again, let me read to you the problem. Carla deposited 500 in her savings account. The account pays interest of 7% compounded semi-annually. How much will Carla have in 5 years? Okay, I have seen your answer in our chat box. Okay, so let's try to find out if our answer is the same. So let's have the solution. So our principal is 500 pesos. Our interest rate is 7% or 0.02. Our n is equal to 2 because it is semi-annually. And our t here is equal to 5 years. So let's have the solution. So using the formula, the accumulated value formula, substitute the given information. Now we have the accumulated value of 705 pesos 0.30 centavos. So this is our final answer. So and I guess, as I have observed, your answer and my answer there in the solution is the same. Thank you so much for response. Okay, let's have a final problem. So problem number 4. What if compounded monthly? So in compounded monthly, our n there is 12. So n is equal to 12. So let me read to you the final problem. Suppose that you have deposited 1,000 in a bank account offering 3% interest compounded monthly. What will be your money after 1.5 years? So again, understand the problem. So what is being asked in the problem is what will be your money after 1.5 years? Your principal is 1,000. Your interest rate is 3%. So please send your answer in our chat box. Okay. So thank you very much. I appreciated it. So let's find out if our answer is the same. So this is the given information. Okay, 1,000 as our principal, 3% or 0.3 is our interest rate, and 12 is our n because it is compounded monthly, and t is equal to 1.5 years or 1.5 years. So by using the formula, so let's have the solution. So as a recap, our formula is a is equal to p times the parentheses of 1 plus r over n to the power of n. Substitute the given information. Now we have 1,045 pesos 0.97 centavos. So this is our final answer, and as I observed, we have the same answer. Okay, students, thank you for your cooperation. And I observed that we have the same problem. I said no, sorry, we have the same answer. Thank you so much. So, okay, before I'm going to entertain questions and clarifications, let's have a recap first. Now, the compound interest is the interest comes on the interest. So, compound interest has a formula, has two formula. One is A is equal to P times the parenthesis of 1 plus r over n to the power of n times t. And the second one is I is equal to A minus B. If you are going to find the accumulated value, you are going to use the formula of A is equal to P times the parenthesis of 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T. And if you are going to find the exact interest of compound interest, you are going to use the formula I is equal to A minus P. Now, let's have the N terms. So, mga N that kailangan nating ma-memorize o ma-familiarize. If it is compounded annually or yearly, our N is equal to 1. And if it is compounded semi-annually, our N is equal to 2. And if it is compounded quarterly, our N is equal to 4. And if it is compounded monthly, our N is equal to 12. And if it is compounded weekly, our N is equal to 52. And if it is compounded daily, our N is equal to 365. Again, so let's familiarize this. If it is compounded annually, it is equal to 1, or N is equal to 1. If it is compounded semi-annually, our N is equal to 2. If it is compounded quarterly, our N is equal to 4. If it is compounded monthly, our N is equal to 12. And if it is compounded weekly, our N is equal to 52. And if it is compounded daily, our N is equal to 365. So please remember that. Then, if you are going to solve a problem, it is almost the same in the simple interest. Understand the problem first. Identify what is being asked in the problem. Determine the given information in the problem. Then use the formula. And with the use of your magic calculator, that help us to give the exact answer. Okay, so is there any questions or clarifications in our lesson? So if none, so let's call it a day. And thank you so much. So let's end our class with a prayer. Amen. Lord, thank you for this day, Lord God. Thank you for the successful class, Lord God. Help us, Lord God, to be your instrument to make a difference of others. This is all we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, class, let me remind you that our periodical exam is fast approaching. So please see your worksheet in our Google Classroom and send it as soon as please turn in with your answer as soon as possible. Okay, good luck and keep it up, and goodbye. Thank you so much.